Yo, the Cosmos ecosystem is growing and growing. And on this Sunday, I want to provide you with a little update on what's been going on this week. We have maybe another baller chain that is migrating away from Ethereum and going to launch their Cosmos chain. There's a bunch of mainnet launchings coming up, and with it also, of course, airdrops and much more that's happening in the ecosystem. So enjoy your Sunday and enjoy this video. Now, first of all, I want to look at the prices and what the market is doing, right? Bitcoin not really moving much. Same for Atom, we're at $10.57. So literally, if you look at the past couple of weeks, even at the past month, this is absolutely nothing, right? We are pretty much at the same rate where we were sometime in April. If we go out even in the past 90 days, pretty much nothing that happened. We're still in this bearish sideways kind of movement. But honestly, that's not going to stay forever, right? I also made a tweet where I said, I personally believe the bear market is going to continue for another 6 to 9 months. I don't think it's going to be much longer than that. With the Litecoin halving coming up, then with the Bitcoin halving coming up sometime in the first or second quarter, I think next year, which is now 10 months away. So, you know, I think we're at the tail of the bear market. And I also think exiting now is the worst you can do. Now is actually a time where you should double down, go to events in your town. You should read a lot. You should connect a lot. Because now it's when people that are still in the industry are the ones that really, really care. And we actually also just had another event here in Dubai. I'm going to show you also pictures in a second. But I want to talk first about something that's very, very exciting, which is this blog post from MakerDAO from May 11, right? And they basically presented, the 5 phases of endgame for MakerDAO. This is from one of the co-founders. And the 5th and final phase is new chain launch and final endgame state. So basically, MakerDAO wants to launch their own chain. And Sunny, who is one of the core contributors and core builders in Cosmos, commented on this, which somebody made Maker Chain will be on Cosmos. I didn't see those info in the proposal. They actually did not explicitly mention Cosmos in here, but Sunny's saying if it looks like a duck, ... So it smells like MakerDAO is going to launch a Cosmos chain, which would be amazing, right? For the Cosmos and for the IBC economy. Also, David made a tweet here saying that, well, DYDX, MakerDAO, and guess who's next? So I don't know, maybe there's even another chain that's already lined up to launch in Cosmos, right? I also saw a couple of months ago, there was a comment from Robert, who is the co-founder at Compound Finance, that basically regretted expanding to Polkadot instead of building on Cosmos. That was a couple of months ago. I don't know, maybe Compound Chain one day is also going to launch in Cosmos. But it's just great to see that a lot of these blue chips on Ethereum are exploring Cosmos, right? And I think that makes a strong case for IBC and would obviously be big, right, if true. And there's also a comment from Menteri Crypto, who just posted this, that there is a forum post to fork MakerDAO. So if you go on the Cosmos Hub forum, you can actually see that somebody made a proposal from the Coast team to basically build a one-to-one stablecoin or Cosmos ecosystem that is a fork of MakerDAO. So there we go. There's actually a lot more chains, though, that are set to launch in Cosmos, right? We have Saga that is coming up, which is the Cosmos Gaming Hub. We have Say Network that is actually launching extremely soon after this video goes live. Fastest layer 1 that is optimized for trading. We have Celestia that is building a modular blockchain framework, and also obviously DYDX that is going to launch around Cosmoverse. So interesting times ahead. And he also mentioned MakerDAO, which is really cool. But yeah, I think out of these 3, Say is definitely going to be the first one. And then I would say probably Celestia, then Saga, and then, Celestia, DYDX, and then Saga maybe late this year or early next year when they launch their mainnet. But Saga is also very interesting. If you guys want to review on that, let me know in the comments. And yeah, Say, we're also, by the way, validators, at least on Say and Celestia. Saga and DYDX were not part yet, but we'll keep you posted with Cryptocito if we join their networks. Now, another news that was big in Cosmos this week, more on the drama side of things, is that founders or co-founders are selling off their allocations, right? Usually founders, when they build a chain and launch a token, they get a portion of the supply, which is usually locked and or vested. And we've seen now in the past couple of weeks that in fact, a lot of the founders have sold tokens, right? And that's actually also no big news. They got the tokens, they're entitled to do whatever they want with it. If they want to sell, they want to sell. But especially in a bear market with relatively low liquidity tokens, it is not just bad for the price, but it's also maybe even worse for the network culture, right? Because if you abandon and you exit your own chain, your own token that you created, especially in a bear market, again, that's not good. So not at all a fan of this. Does that mean that some of these networks are now going to zero? I don't think so, right? So the networks that were actually affected are Stargaze, also Juno, and evmos, right? And I think a couple of more where the founders at least sold large chunks. But those are the three networks, especially Stargaze and evmos. But it is what it is. I mean, you can't really change it. I think we have two examples here of like the two biggest cryptos, which is obviously Bitcoin. And I think that's also a big case for Bitcoin maxis, is to say, look, Satoshi built all this, he gave it to the world, and he didn't even sell his coins, right? Satoshi has 1 million BTC, which is worth 27 billion US dollars. He didn't sell them, at least from the wallets that we know that are his, right? Can it be that he had extra wallets where he made a few millions or hundreds of millions? Maybe, we don't know, and he sold it. But maybe he also passed away, or maybe he just lost access, right? I mean, there's a million ways and reasons why he did not sell potentially. But the fact is he never sold. And that is actually extremely good for the network culture. We have another example from Ethereum, the Ethereum Foundation, and also Vitalik. They actually, historically, they always call the top. Like when they sell, they announce it, they make a blog post about it. They say, hey, this is for, funding the development. They are very reasonable about it. And they also don't sell everything at once, right? They sell in tranches and they sell smaller amounts, but always at the top historically. So that's also a great top indicator when the Ethereum Foundation or Vitalik is selling, but they do it very transparent and also disclose it, which is nice, right? So I think that's also a great way to do it. But then obviously when a founder just dumps on the market, low liquidity in a bear market, like that's not good for the network culture, and I'm not a fan of that. That said, I don't think it's going to kill evmos, Juno, or Stargaze, or all the other chains. And that's also not a Cosmos specific problem. That happens pretty much everywhere. So it's just what it is, right? But maybe from this drama, there's a blueprint that can be set for the future for other token launches and their allocations. Next up, what I think is really interesting is the launch of IBCX on the Ion DAO, which is this native project that has been baked into Osmosis at the Genesis, and now it evolved into an interchain, basically basket of IBC assets that you can invest in, right? So they launched now IBCX, which is a token that you can buy at $61, and it's composed of the following IBC tokens. And we do have Atom here, obviously at the peak, which makes 38.86%. Osmo, almost 30%. Then Juno, SCRT, Stars, evmos, AKT, Ion, and many, many more. So I think that's a cool thing. This is also just the first basket. On-chain governance can decide if they want to change that, change the ratios, if they want to add or remove certain tokens. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Now, the final thing I want to share with you guys is that we just had Atom Dubai with none other than coinbureau. So Guy was there. In fact, I can also show you what we did here. We actually did a little fireside chat on the stage. So I'm sorry, I know the audio is really bad in the live stream, but I think it was really cool. And like we talked a lot really about Cosmos on stage. We're trying to fix the audio and re-upload it, but it's been really amazing. And like Guy, I think he also said this in his videos. He held only very few tokens throughout the past, bear market, and Atom is one of them. So he's actually a fellow cosmonaut and very interested in interoperability side of things, also in the community spirit. I think he's also very like rational and also like level-headed person that also, and the whole team, of course, that really focuses on value creation. And Cosmos is just an ecosystem of non-shillers and people that are just very focused on the tech. I think, in fact, we should do better on communicating our excitement. But I think he really appreciates that. And I think the key takeaways were here that, Guy, first and foremost, is a very, very nice person. He came with this team. He was really, really nice and sticked around for the whole time, talking to everybody. And second, I think the thing we can really do better in Cosmos is to be a little bit more out there, to be a little bit more in the field, right? To also build bridges to other ecosystems, to create more content, to do more events, and to just spread the word in a better, more organic way, right? Because I think right now Cosmos, especially on Twitter, is a little bit of a bubble. And also me with Cryptocito, I want to keep doing these events because I know that's what what is good for Cosmos, to get a fresh wind, to bring new people into the ecosystem, right? So yeah, and also the concept of shared security, we actually talked about that on stage as well, how it also compares to Polkadot, Neutron, Stride, all these tokens, the Atom Economic Zone, and all these kind of things, right? And finally, what you probably mostly care about, airdrops, right? So we have a couple of airdrops coming up. We have Neutron that you can claim on Wednesday, the 24th of May. Note that you can only claim it. You cannot withdraw it. You cannot trade it, but you can claim it. And I think then there's a 3 months vesting period for your airdrop. And then with the time, it gets liquid and you can do cool things with it, such as you can put it into a token vault or governance vault, or provide liquidity with it or trade it or whatever you want, right? So Neutron is coming up mid next week. Also, we do have a mainnet launch on Tuesday, which is Nolos, so a day before. And with it, they will also do a lease drop, or I don't know how they call it, but an airdrop. Please stay up to date there as well with Nolos. There's also another chain that goes live called Unify, which mixes DeFi and NFTs. Also cool project. They were also just an Atom to buy. And I think those are the major ones. Obviously, I think we're in this creation of the Atom Economic Zone right now. So I'm really excited to see Neutron go live, to also give out the airdrop and to start accruing value for Atom stakers. Stride will then be next in line. So we'll also get Stride emission shares and revenue shares from the Stride protocol itself for staking Atom. And next in line is then going to be Noble. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this Sunday update. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you are excited about for next week. What I should cover also here on the channel in the future, if you want any sort of project reviews or debates. In fact, we have a debate coming up on Tuesday between Zaki and Sebastian comparing staking in Cosmos versus Cardano. So we'll have a Cardano person on the channel to actually compare the ecosystem, trade-offs, liquid staking, game theory, assumptions, all these kind of things, and where you should get the maximum yield. Now, that said, enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and be good.